Our third generation of modern computers is called the integrated circuit. We've now moved into the 1960s, and we're going to start using integrated circuits. So what is an integrated circuit? Well, actually, for the first time, we are not going to have a brand new technology like a transistor or a vacuum tube, but these also contain transistors. So let me show you a little how they work, and hopefully this will make sense. I'm going to oversimplify this, but hopefully you can follow how an integrated circuit and what it accomplished. If we wanted to create a computer that added 3 plus 4, again, don't worry about how that works. You'll learn that in the future in a couple of weeks. But it may require, a half dozen or more transistors. So they would individually solder in a transistor, maybe here with a resistor, another here, another here, another here. And it may take all of these transistors just to add 3 plus 4. And that's a lot of work just to do a small number. Now, computers are not built just to add small numbers. They want to add and multiply thousands of numbers and 12-digit numbers. So you may have to repeat this process and have 15 of these side by side, all connected, in order to add very large numbers. It's a lot of labor. Again, at the time, the 1950s, that's all they could do. But by the 1960s, they were able to shrink the size of transistors down so that they could all fit. And kind of moving down to this little diagram here, this represents one of these chips. You can see how each leg is labeled and numbered, just that corresponds to the physical pins up here. And let's say this is all the circuitry, all the transistors and wiring necessary to add 3 plus 4. Whereas before you had to install each individual transistor separately, now they were much smaller. I know you can't see the scale here, but this is probably about an inch or so on most chips, are about an inch or so tall, so it's still pretty small. And more important than the size is the labor. You don't have to install all these individual transistors. You purchase a chip already packaged from a manufacturer, and it has all the electronics and circuitry and transistors necessary to maybe add 3 plus 4. Again, it's a very small number, but all I need to do to maybe add a 12-digit number is to buy 12 of these and just socket 12 of them in a row. So you can see how it's just a lot faster, a lot easier. And again, one thing that will always kind of remind you of is transistors, as they get smaller, they get faster. Physically, it's less distance for the electrons to move. So just having a transistor being this large down to where you can fit maybe 12 transistors in a little chip this size makes it that much faster of a computer, and it makes it much easier and less expensive to install. So actually the third generation, that's basically it. That's all you need to know. You'll see these transistors, you'll see these integrated circuits in everything from VCRs to refrigerators to the back of a thermostat to obviously in computers. So you see these in many different types of electronics, but it's really just a miniaturization of transistors. So the third generation, technically not a brand new technology, but just a make it smaller, make it faster than the previous generation, but we're still using transistors in the third generation computer. Again, not a particular computer that you need to know about, because many thousands of computers in the 1960s and forward use these integrated circuits.